Welcome back. I'm Pratap here. Today is 25th February 2024. In this video, let us generate bullish and bearish trade setup stocks for monthly income trade and a weekly income trade. And a small announcement before we generate the reports. If this is your first visit to our channel, please understand we are providing complete free training on supply demand zone price action. And all the training lessons I kept in a playlist, Supply Demand Zone Price Action course at our YouTube channel. I also provided the link to this playlist in this YouTube video description. You click on the link, you will get into this page and then scroll down to the bottom of the page. And here, starting from lesson 1.1, all the training lessons are available in an order. So please go through all these lessons one by one and then strengthen your skills related to supply demand zone price action. I have also provided the link to our Telegram channel in this YouTube video description. Please join in the Telegram channel. It will be useful to you. Each time when we release a new video, we will provide an update in the Telegram channel. So please make use of this opportunity and strengthen your skills. Let's get into report generation. In monthly income trade, bullish trade setup, the entry time frame should be daily and the entry zone should be demand zone. And in bullish or bearish trade setup, in daily time frame, we are selecting the parameter bullish. And we don't want any pierced zones. So that is the reason why I am setting a pierced count as 0. On daily time frame, we don't want the pierced zones, especially the demand zones, because it is a bullish trade setup. Setting the value 0, 0 here. And then we will also set some more parameters. The first parameter is we want a minimum 3% return. The reward should be 3%. That's why the proximal line to proximal line range, the minimum range, on daily time frame, I am giving the value 3. Maximum could be anything. Between demand and supply zone, there should be a 3% reward. That is proximal type 1 to proximal type 1. If you fine tune the zone, you get even more reward. And also we will try to find the stocks near the demand zone. Which demand zone? Daily demand zone, because our entry time frame should be daily. So here I will generate 3 reports. 1% near to the daily demand zone, 2% near to the daily demand zone, and 3% near to the daily demand zone. So for that I am selecting a maximum price percent to reach the zone. So here I am setting the value 1. So near to 1%, currently the stocks that are supporting bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. We have identified only one stock and one indices, Nifty Financial Services. But this is a stock moving towards the all-time high. If it is reversed tomorrow, then you will get the trade. Otherwise, the stock will be moving towards the all-time high. And it is having a minimum of 3.26% is their reward. Because the list is very small, what we do, let us try to find the stocks which are near to 2% to the zone. So that is the reason why in maximum price percent to reach the zone on daily time frame, I am changing the value 1% to 2%. Let us generate the report. Now we got 5 stocks, that means 3 more stocks. But all these stocks are again, they are moving towards the demand zone. So you should be very carefully observe these stocks. If anyone changes the direction and get into the zone, you will get a trading opportunity. And some of these zones are tested zones. If any zone is tested, mostly try to avoid. If it is a high liquidity zone, yes, you can plan your trade. But 2% near to 2% also we got a very small list. Let me check near to the 3%. That means if the price is down by 3% tomorrow, we will get an entry. So in minimum price percent to reach the zone, I am changing on daily, I am changing 2% to 3%. Now we got 13 stocks which are near 3% to the zone. Look into the direction. The signal type indicates the price direction in lower time frame, that is our daily time frame. All are moving all time high. Look into this. Hero Motor Corp is moving towards the demand zone. Because it is moving towards the demand zone, if tomorrow if the price is down by 3%, it is below 3%, that means between 2 to 3%, we will get an entry. And Manappuram is again also moving towards the demand zone. So these are the two stocks you can focus, and remaining stocks, if they change the direction, you will get an entry. So these are the bullish trade setup stocks supporting for monthly income trade. Now let us look into bearish trade setup stocks. For monthly income trade, bearish trade setup. So daily time frame is our LTF zone or entry zone, and entry zone should be supply zone. And in bullish or bearish trade setup at daily, you need to select bearish. That means you want a LTF zone. Daily should support bearish trade setup. And we don't want piercer zones. Let me set the pierced count to 0. Because bearish trade setup, we get a very small list of stocks. I'm not adding any further filters because we don't trade pierced zones. I just filtered that. So we have only one stock currently supporting bearish trade setup. Currently it is moving towards the high liquidity supply zone, and moreover it is a fresh zone. Okay. So this is about monthly income trade, bullish and bearish trade setup. Now we will generate bullish and bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. For weekly income trade, our entry zone, that is LTF zone, is 75 minutes. And because the first report is bullish trade setup for weekly income trade, I am selecting demand zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup, this time in 75 minutes, I am selecting bullish. Because there is a big list will be there, we will set several parameters. First parameter is we don't want pierced zones. So in this parameter pierced count, at 75 minutes, I am setting the value 0, 0. So only the pierced zone having the count 0 will be listed. And what else we need to add? At least we should have a minimum of 3% reward, or let us say 2% reward, not 3%. The reason is in monthly income trade we have given 3%. Here we will look for a minimum 2% reward. Maximum can be anything. So which parameter we have to use for that? Minimum range. Minimum range indicates the reward. But which time frame we have to set? 75 minutes, because our entry zone is 75 minutes. So minimum 2% reward between demand zone and supply zone, or demand zone and all time high. Minimum 2. Maximum could be anything. And here the list will be big. Let us generate 3 reports, 2 or 3 reports, 1% near to the zone, 2% near to the zone. If required, we will go for 3% if the list is small. So on 75 minutes, first let us set the stocks which are near 1% to the 75 minutes demand zone. Only one stock is there, Axis Bank. But this zone is already tested. Probably the last Friday, I don't know, might have been tested, already got an entry, and now it is moving towards the supply zone. Okay, now let us, in case tomorrow if it turns, but it will give another test. But do you trade in fresh zone? If it is a high liquidity zone, we will trade. But at present, this is a normal demand zone. In future, we don't know. But at present, it is a normal demand zone. Or if you want to take a second trade, use the technique of fine-tuning the zone based on zone confluence. I think you learned in lesson 16, right? Okay, because only one stock is there and that too tested zone. Now let us look for within 2% range. That is the maximum price percent to reach the zone. I'm changing 1% to 2% at 75 minutes. Let us filter. Now 9 stocks are filtered which are near 2% to the zone, demand zone. That is 75 minutes demand zone. Now you can look into this list. But how many are moving towards the demand zone? Nifty oil and gas, this is indices moving towards the high liquidity demand zone. Even Bosch Limited also moving towards the demand zone. Voltas is also moving towards the demand zone. This is high liquidity demand zone. And moreover, it is a fresh zone. So look for these opportunities. I'll generate even 3% also if any stocks. Changing 2% to 3%. You got 17 stocks. You know how to study. You can pause the video and study and find your right stocks. Now I'm moving to the last report for bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. So entry time should be 75 minutes. Entry zone should be supply zone, and in bullish or bearish trade setup at 75 minutes, I'm selecting bearish. Only one filter we will set for bearish trade setup, that is pierced count should be 0. So in 75 minutes, I'm setting the value 0, 0. So only 3 stocks are filtered. In that, Bandhan Bank is moving towards the high liquidity supply zone, and it is a fresh zone. See, bearish trade setup, Bajaj Finance already given 2 tests. Okay, so this is about bullish and bearish trade setups for monthly income trade and weekly income trade. Hope this information is useful to you for our further study and analysis. So let's all meet again in our next video. Thank you.